The security starts with the endpoint. Everything you do is through the endpoint. If you use the endpoint correctly, the endpoint can help you a lot of time. And so use the endpoint to help you. Yeah. Prevention is better than chasing threat. And the best technology to prevent in online world, to bring trust into data, is cryptography. And that in form of encryption and authentication. And so for the US government Zero Trust strategy, the Executive Order 14028 and M2209 dictate securing both endpoints and online access. Okay? We provide the feature-rich endpoint encryption for 25 years for Windows and for Linux, for MFA at pre-boot and so on. And now with the game-changing Zero Trust always verified principle, we propose the best practice solution is you can use the PIF card or key or phone and all the MFA, some combination of that for OS login and pre-boot. But then for online authentication, you can rely on the TPM because it performs the recommended FIDO tool with unshared key very often. And if you want, we can add to it, additional factor like over the phone, whereby the server will talk to the phone through FIDO protocol as well. So a combination of server layer, if you wish. Yeah. And we have solution on-prem and on SaaS and air-gap environment. What is the best possible user experience? Let's see. This is so game-changing, so revolutionary. But what we did is we take the industry best idea and we add our innovation on it to implement this, because the entire world is worrying about cyber attack and a lot of effort are spent to ease users' burden. Look into the endpoint and to everything else. With this differentiation, we can propose that endpoint access give access to everything else, meaning it will ease users' burden big time, 100% of all online authentication. with no user action required. The question to us though is, how can MagicEndpoint IDP grant user access without user action? So you can see, we consider there's the endpoint, there's the server. So our solution is to create a MagicEndpoint Center which coordinates the endpoint and the server. With this MagicEndpoint Center, we achieve through the event-driven update without polling by the servers. The server know all the time in real time that the authentic endpoint and the authentic user is there. MagicEndpoint offers the most secure solution and the best possible user experience. It's so beautiful, it's so good, but then the question may become, how can you do that? Can MagicEndpoint really work?
Here, the computer starts and at pre-boot detects the user's phone using Bluetooth. Once the phone is detected, the user will be prompted to authorize the login and complete the process using biometrics on their phone. Only a phone containing the correct key can access this device. This login can occur while the device is online and offline. From now on, this phone can be used by the user to log into Boot Logon and Windows on this computer. Using single sign-on, the user account is logged in, as is MagicEndpoint, and is available and ready for use. The user can start accessing online applications using no user action. Here, the user opens Microsoft 365 and connects. Rather than the phone, this uses MagicEndpoint and SAML-based authentication with no user action required. Now, to demonstrate how the device trust signals work, we have created a policy that requires devices to be fully encrypted. If a device is not fully encrypted, the user will not be able to log into online applications on this device. To test, let's log out of Microsoft 365 and start the decryption on this device. Now, because the endpoint is being decrypted, the policy takes effect immediately. When the user tries logging into Microsoft 365 again, they will be denied access. And because the endpoint has a persistent connection with the MagicEndpoint Center, this event-driven action was detected.